Coming up in the news, the U.S. Embassy clarifying pre-clearance requirements. Business owners downtown say residents are shopping at home this year. And Christmas comes early for the children of West End. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. This time of year is usually the peak travel season for Bahamians. And while the global pandemic has caused a bit of a slowdown in travel, there are some Bahamians who, despite the challenges, are still taking to the friendly skies for a trip abroad. In recent time, there has been some speculation circulating regarding the U.S. pre-clearance requirements. Tonight, an official at the U.S. Embassy is addressing these claims. Shashina Farquharson reports.
First of all, happy to clarify that requirements for pre-clearance have remained the same since the start of the pandemic, and they have not changed. Again, CBP pre-clearance requirements have not changed.
As the Christmas holiday approaches, many residents are traveling to the United States for various purposes, like shopping, to spend the holidays with family, or for medical reasons. But since the pandemic in March, there have been some misinformation regarding the traveling requirements to the U.S. Some residents traveling internationally have questioned if the requirements from pre-clearance remains the same or it has changed. Public Affairs Officer at the United States Embassy in Nassau says it has not.
And actually, we recently compiled all the requirements for pre-clearance into one easy-to-find website that your viewers can find at bs.usembassy.gov/preclearance. And we hope that having that one website where people can check pre-clearance requirements makes things a little bit easier. We know that travel is very important to the Bahamas, to the Bahamian economy, and to tourism, and also to individual travelers, whether they're traveling to visit family or if they're students starting school. And so it really is a source of pride that we can have CBP pre-clearance here in Nassau, in the Bahamas, to help facilitate travel, and something that is so vital and so important for so many people.
But he says passengers must be minded that CBP officers must evaluate every application entering the U.S. on a case-by-case basis in accordance with existing laws and regulations.
Each person's travel situation is unique and has to be evaluated as such. Now, we can't speak to individual cases, but depending on the circumstances, sometimes travelers are asked to present additional documentation, or perhaps are told that they have to apply for a visa at the embassy in order to travel to the United States. Now, this does not mean that the overall requirements for pre-clearance have changed. Rather, it's simply a reflection of the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, each case is unique, each person's travel history is unique, and has to be evaluated as such.
And starting December 9th, updated technology has been introduced, and it's called Simplified Arrival.
Facial comparison technology, making inspection easier and faster for travelers and more secure and efficient for the CBP officers who are doing their job, as well as everyone else involved in the process. And Simplified Arrival also has public health benefits, especially right now during the pandemic. By reducing the need to capture fingerprints or handle documents, Simplified Arrival also helps limit the spread of disease and infection. And the way it works is pretty simple. During boarding or arrival at the airport, instead of a traveler presenting a passport for inspection, they have their photograph taken, and then facial comparison technology assists the CBP officer to compare the photo of the person standing in front of them with an existing passport or visa photo. The CBP officer will then interview the traveler to validate the results of that comparison, establish their purpose and intent of travel, and then determine their admissibility into the United States.
Now, Durazo says travelers can opt out of the process by notifying the officer and can simply present their travel documents for manual identity verification. For more information, you can visit the U.S. Embassy's site at bs.usembassy.gov/preclearance. Shashina Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
But there are a fair number of Bahamians who refuse to travel abroad and would rather shop here at home this Christmas. And that's certainly great news for local merchants. Tonight, Jay Philippe tells us that stores in the downtown area are happy for the business.
Christmas is just days away, and for many retail businesses in the downtown area, they look forward to this time of the year.
The sales for the past 2 weeks, thank God, have been doing good. The sales been up. After we've been through last year with Dorian and this year with COVID, we had closed basically 8 months out of the last 15 months. So we are thankful for what we're having now. And like you see the Bahamians now shopping. You only have three more days for Christmas. And for incentives, you give discounts. We have 10% off store-wide sale going on through December 24th.
Playtime Sports Store was busy during the early morning hours on this particular day. Over at the town center, shoppers could be seen picking up last-minute gifts for the holidays. At Cashwiz, Mason Curry says over the past week, there has been a steady flow of customers walking through the doors.
The last-minute shoppers is really starting to pop up. We've been seeing a heavy drive in customers right now. Most persons interested in like jewelry and stuff like that, and wives coming in for tools for their husbands. And then we're having 12 days of Cashmas sale, which every day leading up to Christmas, we are hosting a different sale event.
In the heart of downtown, Rosie Cox tells us that Ladybug Dress Women's Clothing Store has had their challenges, but they are grateful for the business at this time.
Right now, we are seeing a little upswing in customers, not as usual, but we thank God every day for the ones that come through the door. We all know that we had the hurricane, and now we're dealing with this pandemic. So we know that has a great deal of impact on all of the stores around here. So like I say, we are thankful and we are hopeful for a better new year.
Men's watches, colognes, and men's fashion apparel are popular buys. Women's handbags and clothing have also been coming off the shelves, resulting in an increase in sales. The holidays are just days away and business is good for this particular fashion store.
Normally, Christmas shopping would have been starting early, but due to the pandemic, things has been slowed down. But some people, you would find a lot of people come asking for bags, carry-ons, colognes, and even clothing available too. Sometimes not much people be back and forth, but things starting to increase by the day start to come down to Christmas. Even though we during this pandemic, people didn't let their Christmas spirit go down. They still came in and they still shop for things for their family members to give for Christmas. And it has been really good due to the pandemic. Some people you wouldn't see how the capacity used to be, but you would still see 50% of people still shop.
A number of businesses in the downtown area says they were relieved because of the increase in sales the past 2 weeks. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
The choice to reopen their doors following Hurricane Dorian is proving beneficial for a local business establishment whose store was completely destroyed. The proprietor of Signature Choices says the journey of entrepreneurship has had its highs and lows, but serving the community of Grand Bahama is what motivated her to renovate and reopen. It's a comeback story like no other for the island's premier lingerie and gift boutique, who is celebrating 20 years in business this December. Rumiko Knowles has more.
It's been like this. That's how it's been. I'll probably like this and then like that.
That's how owner of Signature Choices, Genesis Street Gear, and Choices Scents, Alex Thompson, describes the journey of entrepreneurship. The business owner is celebrating 20 years in business and says she could not have done it without the help of those in the community.
And that's important to me. 20 years is a long time. It's almost half my life, But yeah, so it feels good. It feels good to say, wow, 20 years. As a matter of fact, December 20th this year made 20 years that I've been in business, owned my own store.
And although it is a wonderful feeling, Thompson says it was not so 1 year ago when she saw the condition her place of business was left in due to Hurricane Dorian.
I walked in and I saw the complete disaster, the water, the mess, the mold, and I literally closed the door back. And I had to wait a couple of days to process. And after I processed, I came back in, and two of the workers in the building, I kind of had tears in my eyes, and he was like, "You have to start." I said, "I don't even know where to start." because I'm thinking this is all of my life. This is 18, 19 years, and just a blink of an eye, it was almost all gone.
And so she did. And now the company is celebrating 2 decades of being in business. In fact, Thompson says she never realized how essential her business was until now.
As a matter of fact, during COVID, we actually wrote to the authorities because we had people calling us who were in the hospital. We had essential workers that needed underwear. They needed socks. We had people that needed nurses who needed some things. So we said we need to open because the people who are calling us are essential workers or people that are in emergency positions. So we were able to open and we were able to deliver, like our gas station workers. They were working long hours right after Dorian, and they couldn't get off work before we had closed, or even during COVID, but all the gas stations are long lines. We were able to make deliveries for them. We were able to deliver to the hospital.
And as one of the largest lingerie and gift boutiques on the island, Thompson says she learned how to thrive in a struggling economy.
You always say you don't have the money. You don't have the money. And it's true. We have good and bad seasons. And for the most part, small businesses, when we get started, we never really have the money. But what I learned in the micro mentorship program is that you're going to have to sacrifice somewhere. And for me, I sacrificed getting a paycheck just so I can do some more marketing. I did some more work with your company. You would know with ZNS I've done as well. And then, like I said, with my marketing firm, Evolve Marketing, you know, I sacrifice to employ them to make sure they can help us. And they've done an amazing job. And I can say, considering COVID to now, since I've hired them for this year, we have done exceptionally well.
Meantime, Christmas is coming a bit early for the students of West End Primary School, a local service organization and a new charter airline company forging a partnership to benefit the youth of the West. Rotary Club of Grand Bahamas Sunrise and Buzz Airlines teaming up to ensure a very Merry Christmas for students in West End. Rotarian James Stahl says this year was particularly rough for Grand Bahamians, but they want to close out 2020 on a high note by providing toys for the children and helping families in need.
And this plane is filled with gifts. So Santa's come a little early to Grand Bahama Island. So the Rotarians, my fellow Rotarians, are going to unload these toys and gifts. We're taking them out to the West End Primary School where those kids, and they really could use that to bring some smiles to their faces. It's been a tough year in Grand Bahama Island with Hurricane Dorian and COVID, and now it's Christmas time. We want to give back to the community, so we're very happy to be giving back. And we ran a big raffle, and a lot of people in the community have supported this, and we're able to feed the hungry. There's so many people that are food insecure now, so all of our fellow Rotarians, we're going to be going out giving coupons so that they can have a Christmas dinner and toys, and so it's just a way of Grand Bahama Sunrise to give back.
Sauls explains that Buzz Airlines reach out to the Rotary Club to form a partnership, and together they will take the gift back to a new level.
And they said, you're doing this great raffle, we'll contribute. So they've paid for a good portion of these gifts. The other portion comes from Rotary, and Buzz is a new charter service here. So they wanted to come to the island and show what a good corporate citizen they can be. They're great people at Buzz Airways. It's a private charter, and so you're going to be hearing a lot more of them, and they're going to partner more with Rotary to do good work in the community.
Pilot David Dury says that the company's owner wanted to make an impact in the community that they will now be a part of.
The honor of Buzz Air decided to start bringing some gifts for Christmas, and as we're trying to open a base in Bahamas in Freeport, so it's a nice action, help everybody here. After the couple past years with the hurricane and everything, we've been working together to keep the island and help everybody in here. So we're trying to make every single kid in here happy and help a little bit out with everything that's going on here. We're doing operations mainly between the United States and Florida, and as well we will do a lot of flights usually to Bahamas, Freeport, Nassau.
And as we told you earlier, Signature Choices says celebrating 20 years in business, and Rumiko Knowles is standing by live now at Signature Choices, one of the favorite stores this Christmas.
Well, good evening, Bahamas. We are coming to you live from Grand Bahamas Premier Lingerie and Gift Boutique, and I'm standing by with the proprietor, Alex Thompson. First of all, let me just say congratulations on 20 years, and the store looks amazing. How does it feel?
It feels great. I can't lie. I'm so thankful that you think the store looks amazing, because we work really hard to make it a beautiful store so that you have a full experience when you walk in the store. But 20 years, yes, I feel amazing. I'm here like, oh, wow, we made it.
Absolutely. And you also mentioned earlier today that you also promoting some Bahamian products in terms of candles. Can you quickly just show us a little bit of what it is that you're promoting?
Oh, okay, sure. So let's pop right over here, and we are going to... What we want to do is we want to be able to showcase Bahamian brands. And so as people are coming and exploring, we have like the Sugar Lux collection. She does soy wax candles. She does bath products. She does scrubs as well. And this is Sugar Lux. And so she's a local brand. And we're so happy to have that. And then we also have Gifted Creations. Gifted Creations actually does soy wax candles as well. And she prints different words and different sayings and scriptures. And she does custom work as well. So you can actually order specific candles, specific words on it just for that. So we want to be able to promote those particular vendors and any vendors that we had last year. We did some collaboration with Bootleg Chocolates, and we also did some work with Sweet Treats Bahamas. And so we want to actually invite any other vendors that are out there that are local, that are making products here, to come and see us, because we want to be able to promote buy local, shop at home, and we want the entrepreneur spirit to come alive in Grand Bahama.
Absolutely. And you're also a men's clothing store. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm also sporting one of the men's clothing here at Genesis. Tell us what else you have in the men's clothing.
Well, one of the things we wanted to be able to do was offer menswear that are classic style, that have, timeless looks and whatever else. And now that it's cool weather, we've brought in our Ralph Lauren polo sweatsuits, which everyone can see that you're wearing. And I think you're, 6'3"? 6'3". So we want guys to know that we have fuller sizes. This actually goes up to a 2X and a 3X, which we have it in store. But we have other brands like Calvin Klein. We also sell some Nautica goods. We sell Levi's as well. And then we sell some urban styles as well. We've always been the trendsetters for urban styles and fashion-forward brands here at Genesis Street Gear. And we're happy to say that we've now restocked some goods, and so we want the customers to come out and shop.
Absolutely. And you mentioned earlier that you could not have done it without the help of the community.
That's right. So, like I said before, you can't make it no matter how much products you have, no matter how good your service is. If the customers don't trust you, if they don't like you, if they don't believe in you, they're not going to come and shop. And it's the Grand Bahama community that has kept me here. And every time I may have a bad day, or I may be feeling a little distressed over the economy, customer would come and say, Alex, I'm so thankful that you're here. I'm so thankful that you're open. And even now that we're online, customers are like, I'm so happy that I can actually purchase online from the comfort of home or while I'm at work, and I'll be able to get it delivered. Or we actually offer curbside pickup as well. And so that's an opportunity. And we make it easy. So customers can use their credit cards with us. And we found this particular year, everyone's using credit cards. So we want the customers to know that we accept Visa and MasterCard throughout the store. And you can also purchase online. You could do direct deposit. You can do online transfer. You can schedule for COD, which is cash on delivery, or cash when you do curbside pickup. And it's available here at Signature Choices.
Absolutely. So go ahead and tell everybody your store hours before we go.
Just before we go, we are here open all the time. So what we have our hours are from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But to this week, for the next couple of days, guys, we're open till 7 p.m. We're offering curbside pickup and delivery as well. We want you to know that Genesis Street Gear has great stuff. Choices Scents is our candles, our Bath and Body Works, and all those different things. We have that as well. So we want you to pop by. Like I said, the girls will be here from early in the morning from 9 a.m. and they're going to be working later. And if you need us just to open a little bit later, you make sure you come by. We are located downtown in the 17th Center, number 5. You can't miss us. We're the prettiest store.
And I agree. As you can tell, I'm wearing the clothing myself. Now, Megan, I'm going to put this one on your tab. She's going to pay for this. I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
Or consider that my Christmas gift to you. Thanks, Ramiko, and congratulations to Signature Choices on such a milestone. In other news, another round of amendments to the emergency orders. In Grand Bahama, funeral and wedding attendees are restricted to 10. Wedding receptions and repast gatherings are not allowed. Meantime, worship services are allowed to take place daily between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. during curfew hours from December 24th through January 3rd. For clarity, clarity, the Competent Authority notes that bars, indoor cinemas, disco, and cultural entertainment events are not allowed. Meantime, casinos, charters, including inter-island charters, are allowed, all guided by protocols. The orders also note that guests of hotels should remain on premises during curfew hours. Also permitted fishing with more than 2 persons in the vessel, commercial fishing including trap setting during curfew hours, crabbing during curfew hours, and wild bird hunting. The latest COVID-19 dashboard shows 4 new cases, 3 in New Providence and 1 in Andros. 15 persons hospitalized. Of that number, 14 persons are hospitalized in New Providence and 1 on Grand Bahama. And we remind you, for the health protocols, please wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep your distance.
God rest ye merry gentlemen.
And stay with us. There's more news coming up right after this break.
Remember Christ our Savior.